Hello once again, here's the Nerdettes of the Nintendo Universe, Nerdieo here back, and today we have the war. We have the matches against Garegearhy. He brought his regulars onto his team, I brought some of my regulars. My regulars of the choice were, actually, this isn't even a regular, it's one of my friends, Ryan, so shout outs to him. He actually was able to join me on my team, and for my regulars, I was able to get Q. Shoutouts to Q, and I was able to get Mighty Invincible, but sadly, I was gonna have commentary for these matches and kind of make it into like a collage kind of deal, but sadly I lost the file for my voice. I have their voices, but I lost the file to my voice, so it would just seem like them talking to nothing and them receiving input from nothing, and I felt like that would be too weird. So I wanted to go ahead and commentate the matches. So without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and get right into the first match we have here. It is Tower Control on what's called Manta Maria. As like a little team input kind of deal, we're running 2 arrow sprays, which I feel like was a bad idea. Q is running Umbrella, and I am gonna go ahead and run Splat Dualies because I felt like I needed something a little more offensive than the Brella. I know I usually use Brella, but I like to have fun with Dualies from time to time. So that was kind of my idea around this, but they're running N-Zap. I mean, I think anybody who runs Splatoon, who plays Splatoon, knows the power of N-Zap already. Like, if you don't, pick up a copy and just play the N-Zap, man. Just play the N-Zap. That gun just like renders everything freaking else just almost useless. I say almost because there are some you know, weapons that are just naturally super strong and not as like, I wouldn't say they're as like, you know, as viable or not. I wouldn't say they're as like defeated by the N-Zap as much as others are. But here we are, as you guys can see, they're making their way to our checkpoint very damn easily, like incredibly easily. They're getting kills on us one after another, and we're doing our best, pretty much just trying to hold them back. You guys were able to see we were able to kill them before they were able to get a splashdown down. I had to get out of this rain, man. So I was trying to stay towards the edge, but at the same time not getting too close for him to be able to shoot me. I was able to get Sub King out of there, able to get Burst out of there. I was happy about that. My boy Ryan jumped in, my boy Q jumped in. I was like, man, this is gonna go actually pretty good. Like, we're actually got a good favor. We got somebody else out of here. I launched some missiles, boy. So I was actually feeling pretty decent about this match. As far as actually speaking of something about this match, and this also kind of goes into the next one, is that we actually had to do a reset of the best of 15, which is basically just first to 8. We had to do a reset of that because Gare actually freaking, like, his Elgato system, like his recording software messed up, and in the first take, what's it called, I actually did run Brella. I did run Brella the first take because that's just my best weapon. I feel like, why wouldn't I go for my best weapon? And then for the second game, I forgot what I went for, but I know, I believe it was Brella. I believe I did go Brella for the second game both times. But this is the only game that I did have a change of weapons, and it was running, you know, dualies. But anyways, as you guys can see here, we tried to hold them back, but we couldn't get them at the end there, and they were able to take the win from that game. So with that one done, on to the next one. Alright, so here we are going into game 2. What we have here is we have a Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna say something about Splat Zones right here. I don't like the choice of there being a single zone on some stages, because I feel like once you just control a certain zone, like once you control a stage with one zone, you just camp it. Like that's really all it is. That's why I've always preferred Splat Zones with 2 different zones. Like maps like Moray Towers, those are stages like I like, because, you know, it forces the opponent to approach. You guys are always like trying to go towards each other, and you're not just, you know, staying in one spot. But anyways, I'm actually gonna go ahead and talk about the teams here while you guys see us getting absolutely bodied. I was actually wrong. I know in the last take I said that I was going for the Splat Brella this game. I actually did end up going for the N-Zap. My idea was pretty much just simply based on power. We also have Splat Dualies. I'm not sure who's running Dualies. I want to say maybe that's Q. Mighty, I believe, is the one running... No. Mighty can't be running the splatter shot. Anyways, just know that we also have a splatter shot and an arrow spray out on the field. Who's running what, I'm not sure. And as you guys can see on their team, they're running NES Zapper again. 2 Zappers, and they're running 2 Rollers. Which was just, as you guys can see, it just wasn't fun. It wasn't fun, because the match is already freaking over. No analysis needed here, boys. Just no analysis needed here. On to the next one. Alright, boys, now this is a weapon. This is a weapon. So I'm actually going back to Splatbrella. Before I should say anything, I should say that I believe this is this is Rainmaker on Kelp Zone. This is another mode I don't exactly agree with, but you know what? I was fine with it. I did agree to the rules that were given, so I will take the L's, any L's given here. So as you guys can see, they immediately go for the Rainmaker while sending 2 people, including Garrett himself, on the bottom to just completely get us out of the way. Q also running Splatbrella, and you guys can see they're already almost there. And wouldn't you know that they're just, that's it. That's just it. That's just how it is. That's just how it is, guys. So that's pretty much why I don't like Rainmaker. Pretty much you get the Rainmaker, ambush with your whole team, and I mean, that's it. I mean, that's really it. On to the next game. Alright, next up we have Splat Zones on Sturgeon Shipyard. Again, this is one of those maps where it has one Splat Zone. A map that I'm not really, you know, like super crazy about because of the one Splat Zone. But again, we're gonna go for it. It's what came up on a random generator because again, or actually not again, but for those who don't know, these aren't like stages we chose or agreed on. These are stages given us by a random generator. Which it is possible that sometimes, you know, a random generator can be picked to have different odds, but for the most part, it's random. But anyways, I decided to go with Tensorbrella because I felt like with a stage like this, I would be able to help my team get in more, or maybe use the shield to help them, like send it their way, so this way they can take advantage of it, along with the heavy damage that this weapon gives. Like, oh my lord. But as you guys were able to see there, you know, Garrett making his way around the shield there. Now, sadly, we don't have other perspectives. We wanted to get other perspectives of the match, but there's just not enough capture cards going around with our players. So there, I was able to die again. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Not much more to say about this round. Team coverage, it is pretty much the exact same thing that they ran on Humpback Pump Track, except instead of a second roller, they're using a Gatling gun, a Splatling gun, I'm sorry. Which is super good. Like, the fact that they added the Hydra Splatling gun again is like, not crazy, but it's just, oh boy, because that weapon is just strong for like all the reasons in the world. But as you guys can see there, match is over. We ended up taking the L there. But on to the next match, shall we? Alright, so next up we got a tower control match on Inkblot Art Academy, and a lot of people don't like tower control as a mode. I do feel like in Splatoon 1 it was very busted, but I feel like the balancing of the adding checkpoints, I like that better. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that better. I like the mode in general, but I feel like, what's it called? Adding the checkpoints was like a much more better choice. But going through like our team composition here, we have me with the Splatling gun. We have, I believe that's a Deco, and we also got a Splooshomatic and an NES Zap. So we have some pretty damn good offensive weapons. And they're running what's called the exact same thing as the last match. 2 end zaps, a roller, and another heavy Splatling gun. Here, right here, I was pretty much, I know, like, you know, it's not turf war, stop spreading ink on the turf. But I was actually just getting my special ready because I figured it was halfway there. I could be able to use it, but sadly, as you guys can see here, I don't get anybody. I get literally nobody, which sucks. Because I felt like they'd maybe be around the tower, but hey, guess not. But anyways, you guys could see here I'm trying to do my best to get rid of the people on the tower, and then I figured, well, maybe I could do my best by preventing people, and then that's when I went head-to-head with Heavy Splatling, and of course I lost on one charge just because it is the... Oh, I'm sorry, I've been calling it the Heavy Splatling, the Hydra Splatling. Just because it's the Hydra Splatling, I lost. But you know what? We gotta take those L's. We have to learn how to hold those L's, my boys. Here's just some more offensive stuff. Q was able to pop his special. I got mine ready, so I was gonna pop mine. Again, with this special, we get a whole lot of nothing. In fact, I die. Which sucks, but you know what? We just gotta take those L's. I was able to get Flare out of there. Our whole team is dead. Our whole team was freaking dead. And I believe with that, game's over. Oh, no, that's the last checkpoint. Whole team is dead again, and I believe that's a game. Yeah. Alright, so that is going to be game for Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy. On to the next one. Alright, so this game, Rainmaker at Mako Mart. This game, I literally have no goddamn clue what happened. Literally no clue, and I'll explain in a bit. Going through the team composition first, we got me with the hero, or just the regular Splatbrella. Q also running the Splatbrella because that's actually our main weapons. I actually do main the Splatbrella. I feel very confident with this weapon. Ryan is running, I'm not sure the name of that weapon. I'm not sure what the name of that weapon is that he's running. And then we got Mighty with the N-Zap. Mighty actually here getting the Rainmaker, freaking carrying it so goddamn far. Like literally we opened up what I feel like is super goddamn strong. I decided to pop one of those to get anybody out of the area so this way we can take that. But sadly we did lose to the Rainmaker explosion. Still don't get why it explodes. Why not just push back, man? Why not just push back? But I can understand why for certain occasions. They're going to go ahead, pop some specials, use more Rainmaker. There's one thing I'll say about Rainmaker. I'll never get what people like about this mode. I never will. It's capture the flag, but once you have the flag, just have your whole team around it and you've won. Like, it's literally that easy. And I know, I get that we lost, but our whole team wasn't around the thing. If you have your whole team around it, it's like, there's no point in playing. It's pretty much just whoever gets to it first. And what I feel like happened there is that Ryan or Q either were just respawning or didn't realize that we had to be around it, which I don't blame them for, because you know you shouldn't have to play a mode like that. Just your entire team just all there at once. Like that doesn't sound fun. But anyways, on to the next match. Alright, for those watching this, first of all, you guys gotta tell Adam and Alfredo. I don't know how you're gonna get a hold of them, but you gotta tell them. Don't message me while I'm making a video. I started recording this segment on a Monday afternoon. It is now Friday night. But anyways, we are at a Tower Control Moray match. Our weapons are going to be me with the Splatbrella once again. Q is running something. I always forget the name of that weapon. I'm so sorry. Same goes for the, I believe that's the blaster. Like an upgraded blaster that Ryan is running, and then we got Mighty with an arrow spray. First of all, I do want to say, I do not like tower control on this map. Like, I feel like Moray Towers is fun. It's one of my favorite stages, but there are some modes where it's just like, honestly, so unfair. Like, I don't know what about it, but it's just so unfair. And I don't know what I want to say about this is so unfair. I feel like it's just the angles on the way down that make it unfair. But I will appreciate the changes that they did make to the map, but I do love that. I feel like it adds more of an edge whenever it comes to, you know, competition in some gameplay. And right now, I feel like I messed up. I feel like this is where I could have done better. Instead, I was greedy and trying to get the special. I felt like getting the special would help us. I ended up getting it. I did end up getting it, and I popped it, but I feel like I popped it way too close to me. Because for those who don't know, yeah, like you see, they already won. I died during their winning just to add insult to injury. But for those who don't know, whenever you do use the what's it called? The Ink Storm. Wherever it lands is just going to be the center of the actual special. But anyways, we did lose that match. I'm not sure what it is right now for Gare. I know that we are still at 0, but on to the next one. Alright, getting into this next match, boys and girls, we got Splash Zones on Black Billy Skate Park. This was actually a 3-on-3 because of some awkward situations. First of all, Gare had lost a member due to disconnections, and Mighty actually ended up having to leave. So as of right now, Gare did end up having one of his teammates spectate instead while Mighty left, so to make it a true 3-on-3 so this way it could be fair. We're in the team composition. We got me and Q with some splat rollers and Ryan running what's called Splooshomatic. And as for this stage, I feel like things can be either really fair or unfair depending on team composition. As of right now, I feel like we technically do have an unfair advantage. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I feel like we kind of need one. At this point in time, I feel like we do need an unfair advantage. Like, I feel like that's something that our team could use, especially at this time when we are in need. But either way, you know, at this point in time, it is me right now just trying to build down a special and get in there. So I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna go to the opponent's side or ours. Okay, looking like ours, and I'm just gonna pop it here. So once I gain control of that, they lose control, of course. I'm gonna go to this side, drop that dude on top, make sure he doesn't get back up. Try not to. I believe that's Gare, actually. Is it Gare? Yeah, it's Gare. Okay, cool. I'm glad it's Gare, honestly. Gare sucks. By the way, Gare, if you're watching this video, you suck. Just hope you know that. But anyways, we are in a winning position here. Things are looking good. Things are looking bright. Ryan is going to make himself to the top of the tower. They threw a suction bomb. I was like, nope, we're screwed. That's it. We're screwed. So Gare, go ahead, gets me back because, you know, he's using the NZAP, aka the cheating weapon. I'm going to go ahead and make myself back as quickly as possible. Ryan was actually able to luckily escape Gare. You know, I just feel like that gave us a bit of an advantage when, you know, trying to get control of these splat zones. Again, I still do feel like we have the unfair advantage as far as like weapons wise. I do feel like in this stage, you know, my opinions are up to debate. I'm not exactly a competitive Splatoon 2 player, but I do feel like, you know, Splat Roller with Splashdown on this stage is a little bit unfair. But at the same time, I think that Splashdown is also probably the worst special in this game, especially on this stage. While Splashdown's effects do help, I feel like, you know, having that, you know, height on top of the tower while the opponent is using Splashdown, it's just game over. Just aim for them while they're using Splashdown, because Splashdown, you have no invincibility. You lose. They even shorten the invincibility, which I feel like just makes it the worst special. Like, there's too many opening startup frames for you to not punish that. Of course, unless there's nobody around. But I feel like that's completely punishable and completely escapable. But I do feel like it does have good reward. So I guess that could be their plan, to make it high risk, high reward. But I do feel like invincibility should be much longer. I feel like it should definitely be much longer. Maybe not on the way down. I feel like you should be able to kill on the way down, but not on the way up. It's like less than a second on startup that you get invincibility. I believe it's a seventh of a second, if I'm correct, for invincibility on Splashdown, and I don't like that. I really don't. I think that's making it the worst special in this game. The fact that it doesn't have enough invincibility. A lot of people would disagree with me, because that's like a 45 frame invincibility, and in some games that's like actually insane. But for Splatoon 2, for the Splashdown, I don't feel like that's enough. I found myself in too many situations where I've ruined Splashdowns. And I know that, and I do know that the radius is wider if you do it from a super jump, and I get it. That's supposed to be like its gimmick, but you can't tell me I'm wrong whenever I say like 90% of super jumps are from death when you lose half of your meter. Like, I don't feel like that's fair, because that's like one of the main uses for super jump. One of, again, the other use being, you know, super jumping to a teammate mid-match. I can understand that, but oh boy, I just don't see it being too viable. Here I go using the Splashdown here. Killed Gare. Good job past me. Thank you, future me. Gonna make my way up here to, luckily, ooh. I actually didn't even notice that, so I guess Q dropped a smart bomb, or that could be Ryan. And they were able to scare the dude off while I was able to take control of the top. So good, yeah, that was Q, so good job, Q. Hey, thinking ahead. Killed Gare, nice. And believe it or not, guys, believe it or not, we're doing good. I didn't think we'd be doing good, and we actually won. I felt good about that. Again, even though I felt like we had an advantage with the weapon, but special-wise, maybe not, we did win, surprisingly. By time. I believe that was by time, not by actual countdown. But anyways, that is going to be our match that we won. On to the next match. Alright, so guys, I'm gonna be a little bit of a spoiler, man, although you guys can probably already guess from the length of this video. We are at the final match. It is me, Q, and Ryan versus, I didn't even read the name of Gare's team fast enough. But anyways, I will be rocking the Slosher. Q is going to be rocking the Splatbrella. Ryan, once again, going to be running the Splooshomatic. I'm not sure if that's what Ryan is maining this time around. I'm not sure, because I know he used to use a different weapon, but he could be a Splooshomatic main now. I could be wrong about that. But anyways, what better mode to finish this off with than, you know, what's it called? Rainmaker. You know, my favorite mode. You know, the mode that's totally fair. But anyways, we actually do get a lot done here in this specific situation here. Everybody's just super jumping to each other in that one spot. You know, we're just trying to handle guys in our own special way. Here we go, we're getting the Rainmaker. Everybody on the team dies, but Gare. Literally, both of his other teammates die, but Gare. Because you know why? I honestly don't even know. I couldn't tell you why. I really couldn't tell you why. He was in the blast radius. He definitely was. But I mean, as you guys see, I don't actually have a rank. I don't believe I have one, because I don't play rank. But anyways, that is going to be the last match. As of right now, I have not received my punishment. I did lose the war against Garegearhy, sadly, but this won't be the last time, Gare. This won't be the last time. There will be more games coming out in the future for Nintendo Switch. I mean, you know, I'm pretty damn good at Mario Kart. But anyways, I'm not trying to start anything. I have not received my quote-unquote punishment for losing the war. I believe they are still voting on that over at Garegearhy headquarters. Once I receive my punishment, I will upload that in a separate video. As for this video, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Please go unsubscribe from Garegearhy. Thank you.